Hello everybody, this is Jetta here with Moonflower Insights to talk to you about today's new moon in Capricorn, as well as some of the other influences that are affecting us right now astrologically and energetically. As always, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe to see more videos like this. Anyways, first off, wow, there's a lot of energy going on and there's a lot of turbulence going on right now as well. In a previous video, I gave an energetic update on the month of January. I plan on doing this here again, maybe in like a week or so, give or take. But feel free to watch that video because it includes a lot of the up and downs that we're feeling right now, as well as explanations as to why. And then also ways to cope with that, which I'll be sharing somewhat of in this video. So today's a new moon in Capricorn, and this is a pretty powerful new moon that refuses to be ignored. You might have felt the energies in the first couple of days leading up to this, starting about 3 days ago. And what makes this new moon so powerful? It's the first new moon of 2021. New moons are all about manifesting and creating, but also because it's at 23 degrees of Capricorn. Now, if any of you follow astrology, 23 degrees of Capricorn might sound familiar because that's the same degree point that we had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction last January. That conjunction was what highlighted COVID, a lot of the destabilization and deconstruction of everything that was familiar, of the way that we had lived our lives for so long. It was because of that conjunction, and that conjunction was probably one of the most important astrological transits that we will see in our lifetimes. It was very catalytic. It was very much here to tell us, hey, everything that you've been living by that no longer serves you is going to go out the window, and it's going to do so whether or not you're ready. So I do recommend that you find 23 degrees of Capricorn in your chart, or you can book a reading with me or any other astrologer to help you find this degree point. And if you do this, it will show specifically what your challenges may have been in 2020 and what you needed to overcome / probably did overcome because overcoming hardships was demanded this past year. But also it'll help give you insight into this new moon today, because this new moon today is really closing the door on that which we overcame in 2020, that which no longer serves us, that which we are holding on to out of comfort that might have been painful to release, and then to move forward with the new lessons that we gained from that. So that's what's going on internally, collectively internally. There's obviously a lot more going on within the greater collective, which I'm going to talk about here a little bit more here in a bit. Different aspects that also highlight this. There's a lot of strong earth and air energy right now. So with that, there's a lot of thinking going on and also a decent amount of groundedness. And it's a good time to really set physical goals for what it is you want to achieve in life. Capricorn is all about hard work, goal setting, reaching towards your dreams really, and developing yourself more professionally, and also gaining more tactical skills on how to reach a better version of yourself and a more comfortable, hardworking version of yourself. So I would say that everybody should sit back right now and really feel into their bodies and think, okay, what is it that I left behind in 2020? What hard lessons did I learn in 2020 that I'm grateful for despite how difficult they might have been? And then I'd maybe write that down. And then from there, I would maybe write down where you want to go with those lessons and how you want to see yourself in the future and what you want to work towards this next year. The 23 degree point is something that I look at and think like, wow, none of this stuff is an accident. I think it's really powerful. Now, with all of the air energy going on, and there's also a decent amount of Neptune energy right now, as Neptune is squaring the nodes of the moon, there might be a certain amount of tiredness and internal confusion that might exist within each and every one of us right now. This is kind of part of like the strong air energy that's going on, and this air energy is also highlighted by so many signs, or so many planets being in the sign of Aquarius. So it might be a little bit easy for us to get ahead of ourselves right now too as we set these goals. It might be easy for us to think, oh, there's no way I can achieve this, or no, it's going to take too many steps. I don't know how I'm going to get there. That's not important right now. What's important right now is that you set these goals first and then take things step by step by step by step as they come, because any kind of radical change is going to look intimidating when you try to break it down so much. It's really important just to take things as they come, because once you put that energy out there for whatever it is you want to create, whatever it is that you want to be, you need to be able to develop a special eye to see when things come towards you that are going to help you take those each individual steps. But it can be really easy to overwhelm ourselves. And when we overwhelm ourselves, we aren't able to see when those different opportunities present themselves, because we're too much up here and not enough here with our focus. That can simulate a lot of worry and anxiety, which nobody needs more of right now. Now, also with this moon, there might be some hard lessons some of us might be learning at this time. Hard lessons of things that just didn't work out this past year that we might have really wanted to work out, and we need to be able to develop a sort of gratitude for realizing this, however difficult it may be. An image that I'm getting right now is of a hand that's grasping so hard on something that it would just be a lot easier if it were to let go and release it. A sense of relief would come over that hand. So maybe envision that image yourself and see if anything particularly comes to mind, and give yourself time to grieve and mourn as needed for that influence. We have to allow things to fall apart so that better things can fall into place. That is very much so true. And we have to allow those things to fall apart too, to gain the lessons from them. Some of life's best lessons are hard lessons. A lot of life's lessons are really easy and really fun and light, but we don't typically see those the same way because they are so pleasant. It can become much easier to focus and dwell on that which is harder. So develop a sense of gratitude here, because that's what will allow this energy to be more easy to pass through you, even if it is unpleasant. Now, in the upcoming days coming up, there is a lot of really tense energy here. We have several squares happening with several planets. The 17th is a remarkable day for that. And then also the 20th is a remarkable day for that. But the energy of these squares are existing even now, and even highlighted by the fact that Uranus is stationing direct, and then it's coming into conjunction with Mars on the 14th and 15th at 6 degrees of Taurus. Mars doesn't really like to be in Taurus that much, so a lot of the Mars energy that I've talked about in previous videos is kind of shaking right now. And a lot of the different Mars energies that we are processing since Mars entered Aries back in June last year, it just transitioned into Mars a couple days ago, on the 6th, the day that people stormed the Capitol. A lot of that energy finally came to a head, and now Mars is kind of trying to figure out where to go and what to do with it, but it's a little bit held back and stifled still, as it is in a sign that doesn't really like to be in too much. And then making that square with Uranus, it's a lot of destabilizing energy too. So it's like, which way do I go? Which way do I go? It's kind of like a stuck rabbit that's being hunted inside of a room, like it's trying to get out or something of that sort. So I really recommend that during this time we all sit back. There's a lot of civil unrest here in the United States right now, and it can be easy to feed into this or to become glued to the news during this time, but that's not going to do anybody favors. What's really important is that we sit back with ourselves and learn how to self-soothe during this time. That we shut ourselves up from the news as needed. Definitely keep yourself informed still, that's important, but make sure that you can tell if you're getting too obsessive with it or if it's starting to affect your emotional and mental well-being. This month really highlights our need to be able to self-soothe, as is the month of February, because there's going to be a lot going on collectively. And this year, 2021, is a rather destabilizing year. There's a lot of really strong Uranus energy here. And although I do feel as though we are moving towards something new and something better, there is still going to be a certain amount of discomfort that comes with breaking things down and building things up. More so the image that I'm getting for this year is building things up and then breaking down again, because we are trying to process and create something that is new and better for ourselves overall as a collective. But that is going to happen with trial and error. And this year there's a lot of trial and error and also a lot of turbulence with money this year. So our refuge for each and every one of us is going to be self-soothing, taking care of yourself, creating space, doing whatever makes you feel good, whether that be taking a bath, writing, running, even just laying in bed for a day. Anything like that is fine, but definitely reach into your toolbox that helps you be able to calm yourself during times of intensity. Any kind of practice that you can develop too that helps you work with your parasympathetic nervous system or your fight or flight kind of mindset and hormones and muscles, all that stuff, that's really going to help you during this time. So I would recommend getting into breath work, doing yoga, sitting down in a reclined position, anything like that that's going to help you calm your nervous system. Drinking chamomile tea even, cooking, EFT tapping, anything that is going to help you tell your body that you're safe, that despite everything that's happening right now, you are safe. Because when we get mentally caught up in all of the change and in everything that's going on, sometimes our body gets involved with that as well, because it's our mind communicating with our body that we're unsafe. So then we become tense, and it's really hard to calm ourselves down once we reach to that point when ultimately physically all of us are safe. And we need to be able to communicate with ourselves as such on a physical level. Anyways, so that is my video for this new moon in Capricorn. I am going to go ahead and pull a card and see if anything comes up from my guides, anything that we might need to learn, any practice that we can develop or anything of the sort for this new moon in Capricorn. It is a very powerful new moon. Although parts of it might be a little bit difficult, it's something that's really helped setting ourselves up for the future. And it's important that we develop the eye to be able to see that. Think about all of the doors that you've closed this year. And just by closing those doors, you were able to open so many more doors that had friendlier things behind them as well. Anyways, I call into this space my guides. Guides, be with me now. Guides, be here with me now. Archangel Gabriel, be here with me now. Archangel Gabriel, be here with me now. Please give me a card for today's new moon in Capricorn. Please give me a card for today's new moon in Capricorn. Very nice. Very nice. So the card that popped out of the deck was the Fool. The study of the tarot is all about the journey of the Fool. That's this card here, and it's the first card in the Major Arcana and the first card in the tarot. And essentially, since the tarot is the journey of the Fool, it's the journey of this person here. It's about starting something new and developing yourself both tangibly and intangibly as you go through that trip or that journey. So this is really a new point for all of us. All of us have the opportunity to start over new now with this full moon here. Some of us might get some hard news around this time as well. And it's important to not see that hard news as damning or even as set in stone, but to be able to look at it with a stoic eye and also with acceptance. That's what I'm reading here with this card. And take what you learned with you and continue to go. Allow the opportunity for newness to silence any worries or anxieties that you might have, or any perceptions that you might develop over what your new journey is going to be like. Don't create any prophecies here. Just set goals, and set energetic goals more so than physical, tangible goals almost, because that will help you here. It'll help you to be more welcoming to different circumstances that might present themselves that might be better even than a physical specific goal that you might have in mind. Anyways, let your intuition guide you here, and thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Links below for my Instagram and my email. I do private readings as well. I do private angel channeled messages, private tarot readings, private astrological readings. I do body work and energy work as well as distance energy work. So get a hold of me if any of that sounds appealing to you. I also have the links below for my PayPal and my Venmo if you'd like to make a donation. All of these different videos do take some time for me to create, and it also helps support my studies in astrology and energy work and all this good stuff. So once more, thank you again. Bye-bye.